And Ngozi, oh, there she is. I see
Sorry.
you. That's all right. Good to see your face. Ngozi Giz Ojiako is our director for programs.
Yeah, just a minute.
So welcome, Ngozi.
I do.
We have Mrs. Grace Alexandra as well. She's one of our partners. She's the director for Star Children. Please mute yourselves as you come in. Um, can the admins make sure that your eyes are fixed on people coming in, please, and just mute them so we're not disrupted. It's a very important seat we've all taken up this morning. Um, Mr. Archibald, you're very welcome, sir. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
gracing our tables this morning. Going to look
Thank you
for.
very much.
Thank you so much. I'm also welcoming Miss Yemisi Jenkins, MBE. She's also a very, very good friend of the house, a professional in the UK as well. She is the lead. Oh, well, let me see. I'm forgetting your name. She's the lead engagement officer for the Home Office immigration team in the UK. So these are issues that we would want to have some discussions around immigration. We have Miss Ollie Oguns. She is also our social work um, link partner from Scotland. She is a renowned social worker in Scotland and the UK. Bola Segilola, welcome on board. She's MOTEP. She's also
Thank you.
our collaborator from Nigeria as well, education. Um, I'm just going to start by saying that safeguarding is a very broad subject, and it encompasses all walks of life. Safeguarding should be a way of life for all of us, just as you have health and safety, and which looks at the safety of everyone within your environment. So once you're in an environment, you should consciously be looking at the health, well-being, and safety of every child within your environment. So safeguarding are preventative measures we put in place to prevent children and young people from coming to harm. We have a focus on children between the ages of 0 to 18. However, in the UK, we actually go up to 25, and we also have an agenda for safeguarding adults. So our partnership in the UK works on safeguarding children, families, young people, and adults. And we are very, very, very focused on collaborations and partnerships. I believe, Miss Adefope, do we have the volume back, ma'am?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Wonderful.
Welcome. Thank
Brilliant.
you.
I'm going to hand over the reins to you, and please enjoy, everyone. Take care.
Okay. Thank you, Yemi. We're not going to waste too much time this morning because we are already 5 minutes into our set time. So what I'm going to do quickly is to begin to introduce our very honorable invited ministers. And because Yemi has invited our directors and co. Today, we have very, very important personalities here. And from my screen, I might not be able to see everybody. I'm trying to see if I can see us all. But whether or not we can see everybody, everything just went off now. I'm just going to start and introduce. Today we have the Honourable Minister for Women's Affairs. We have 4 of them here today. And because I'm a lady and we're gender sensitive, I'm going to start with the Women's Affairs that is also headed by Honourable Pauline Tallon, OFR KSG. And I'm not going to waste too much time, but you know, when you are meeting with such a person, it's important that we say, oh, Honourable Pauline Tallon, the Honourable Minister for Women's Affairs, she is a socialist. Sorry, she's not a socialist. She's a social scientist by excellence, because she studied sociology, and you know, when you meet such people, they know how to read you, write, and decode you, and that is the reason, I believe, why she has excelled in all the offices that she has held. Proud to have been made the Minister for Women's Affairs, she was the Deputy Governor in 2007, and she took that office very well and did exceptionally well up till 2011, when a new government came on. She has left an enviable achievement as the minister in several capacities. Every area where she has been given the opportunity to serve, one thing we have found out is that Honourable Dame Pauline Tallon has excelled. We want to thank her today for joining us, and to let her know that we are humbled and we appreciate her being here today. Thank you, Madam, for being here. Then we go on to introduce the Honourable Minister for Education, Honourable Adamu. I was quite humbled when I read about this gentleman's achievement. He studied accounting, then he went on to become a journalist. And his being a journalist wasn't just local. He was also a renowned journalist, even internationally. He studied and graduated as an accountant from the Ahmadu Bello University. Then he went on to the Columbian University to study journalism at master's level. Also got to know that Honorable Adamu, the Federal Minister for Education, is a polyglot. He speaks several languages. He speaks Hausa, he speaks English, he speaks Farsi, he speaks Arabic, and he speaks French. I don't think that is small thing. That is an impressive thing for one man to achieve. Thank you for being here. He's been the Minister for Education since 2015, and we can all see what is happening in our education sector right now. There's a lot of improvement, and things are being done to help our children attain the best and become lifelong learners. Then today we also have the Honourable Minister for Health. This man also blew my mind. I must say, what I found out about him, made me smile. It says that he attended Government College, Ibadan. That was, and that is still a school that people struggle to get into. And then he studied medicine in Germany, in Ludwig Maximilian University, LMU, is still a prestigious university. He went on after doing qualifying in Germany, working in Germany, went on to the Royal College of Surgeons, where he obtained postgraduate diploma in aesthetics. He's board certified general surgery and orthopedic trauma surgeon. has worked in Germany, Nigeria, several other countries, worked with Shell. He has, he has worked with the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, and he has achieved. We're glad to have him here. Quickly go on to the Executive Secretary, Anthony O. Ojukwu, who is here from the Human Commission, HRH of the National Human Rights Commission. He too has held several positions before he came to become, be the National Executive Secretary Human Rights Commission. Yeah, those are the people that we have here today. And I believe Yemi has introduced herself and has also introduced Giz Ojiako. These are people that have continued to fly the flag of safeguarding here in Nigeria and in the UK. And because the world is becoming smaller, more and more people to the UK trouble because we transfer. But today we just want to create a platform quick, not just to bridge the gap, but also to focus on the things that affect our children. So because of what is happening in Nigeria, and we cannot overlook those things. And we know that if we delve into those things, we may be here till 2023. We crave your indulgence. Anybody who has anything to say, please let us keep it to these 5 framework for today. These target focus, these things that we want to target today. Number 1, we want to develop national safeguarding and child protection policy and procedure for Nigeria. We want to increase the awareness of safeguarding children's rights and child protection. We want to see how we can integrate the safeguarding, child protection, and early intervention systems into schools and into child-focused organization. And last but not least, we also want to find a way of integrating children living with physical or learning disability into employment and into the society. Those 5 things are things we want to focus on. I'm hoping that by the time we are done with the agenda of today, we would have been able to please deal with each of those things, have favorable outcomes. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. I call on Mr. Achibong. Hello.
Let's go ahead, Mr. Achibong. Says calling him again. Mr. Achibong, I've asked you to unmute, sir. Okay. Okay, it seems to be Some technical.
Bit of a glitch.
Yes, that we do seem to have a bit of a technical hitch there. Are you able to unmute, sir? Thank you, sir. Go ahead. Wow. Okay, I think maybe whilst no, sir, it's very distorted. No, sir.
We can't hear him.
Okay, sir. Unfortunately, the sound, the audio is very distorted. What I think we will do is, if we give you some time to maybe log out and log back in again, the audio is very distorted, unfortunately. Okay. Okay, Adine, could possibly call the next person and we will ask.
Okay, do we have Mr. Paul here?
Paul?
Is Mr. Paul Oreva here?
Yes, I am. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Could you introduce Saffron SDGF 2015 to 2021? Brief, thank you.
Okay, thank you all. I will share my screen shortly.
Okay, Paul, go ahead.
Yeah, he's just trying to share his screen.
Okay.
Just to confirm if everyone can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'll quickly run through this in about 5 minutes. Just follow me as the slides are scrolling. So this is our vision: to deliver social intervention and preventative outcomes, ensuring children are supported to develop NACCRAN. About the safeguarding program, Safeguarding the Nigerian Child program is designed to deliver social interventions. Sorry for that. Deliver social interventions and preventative outcomes towards ensuring children are supported to develop in a secure and safe environment. Where we are currently, since October 2015, we've had, when we had the first stakeholder forum in Lagos State, we made great progress educating and creating awareness on safeguarding and child protection. These are our impact numbers. Since 2015, we've trained over 50 schools, 1,000 plus professionals. advocacy webinar reach over 550 persons. What next on Saffron project? We have the Safeguarding Champions project from 2020. Go through what the program is all about and how we can get ourselves involved towards ensuring the Nigerian child is safe. This is the need analysis. According to UNICEF, 6 out of every 10 children experience forms of violence. Reported violence, only 5 out of 100 receive some form of support. These are issues that we're looking at for the Nigerian child, and it's part of the reason why we are all today to see how we can collaborate in different ways and forms to ensure to a conclusive agreement and action towards ensuring the Nigerian child is safe. The project brief, in the next 5 years, 2021 to 2026, we plan to positively impact behavioral patterns of the 100,000 direct beneficiaries, direct persons. Behavioral pattern is to change cultural practices that would reduce violence against children, forms, and our call to action for this project is to ensure that can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hearing some sounds at the background.
Yeah. We're just trying to sort that out, but go ahead, please.
Okay, so there's so much to be done and different roles to play towards ensuring the Nigerian child is safeguarded and protected. Where do you and I fit in? So there are areas of policy and legislation, there are institutional partnership areas, there are fundraising, volunteering skills, and partnership. So if we want to ensure the Nigerian child is safeguarded and safe from every form of abuse, violence, sexual misconduct, and all of that, we need policies, we need legislation, we need funding, fundraising activities to promote programs, advocacy, educates people down to the lower strata of society, down to those in the survival plane in society. And these are areas where we can all plug into to say, okay, if you're in government, you can use your role in government for policy and legislation to push policies that will ensure children are safe, implementation of the Child Rights Act, follow through with Lagos State safeguarding and child protection policy. We need concerted partnership and collaboration to achieve this. And this is part of the reason why we are here today for this roundtable discussion. So there are different areas. These are just few that were mentioned. More will be as the program runs. We'll get to see more areas where we can get ourselves involved to ensure that we're living, posterity will remember us for what we did for the future from the Nigerian child. I'll end with this quote: in any moment of decision, the worst thing you can do is nothing. So I would employ each and every one of us on this webinar today that we shouldn't be among the people that will make the worst decision by doing nothing to protect the Nigerian child. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul. Our next item on the agenda is actually
I think Mr. Achibong has come in again, Adeyinka. Mr. Achibong has managed to come back.
So, Mr. Achibong, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Achibong. It's nice to have you on after such a long time.
Yes. Okay.
Just to fill in, Mr. Achibong has worked with children, I can conveniently say, for more than 50. In fact, I think it will be more like 20 years working on the children's development, encouraging children to be their best, and he has achieved in this wise. I understand that today they were done with choosing the children's parliament native office here. Mr. Achibong, can we have you on now?
think he's still connecting with his audio. Still connecting with audio, so I guess we may need to have to come back to him because time is going. Okay, so just if you move on, and we will come back to Mr. Archibong shortly.
Okay, so what we actually have on now, do we have the representative from the Human Rights Commission here? We have the presence of Human Rights. Madam Mildred.
Is that the...
Madam Mildred? Is she here?
Good morning.
I think somebody's answered you.
Somebody's answered. Somebody else is speaking.
Olarowenj was...
Yes, good morning.
Okay.
Mr. Olanrewaju, good morning.
Yes. Someone else.
Morning.
Yes, go ahead, please. Go ahead, sir.
This is Honourable National Human Rights Commission.
Yeah.
Thank you for organizing this event. It's not, it can never be exhaustive for everyone to come. The safety of all children in Nigeria. Greetings from the Executive Secretary, Mr. Tony Ojukwu, Esquire, who honorably will not attend this, and to scale down to my director, and obviously I have to be here. Thank you. I wouldn't know where I should take from here. Maybe you want me to talk more on the bullet as the basis of the discussion.
Yes, that would be fine, sir. If you would take those bullet points, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. We lost him. Okay, he's muted himself.
Okay. Do you see I should?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Okay. All right. Looking at the team, keeping children safe, and that every child has the right to grow up in a safe and nurturing environment. And child abuse, violence of any sort is a crime and should be treated as such. We are saddled as National Human Rights Commission with the promotion, protection, and enforcement of all rights of all citizens in Nigeria, including children, and the increasing awareness of safety and child vis-a-vis parental awareness and responsibilities could be dealt with by addressing the current lapses in parental vigilance, which raise serious concerns. We are all witness that government cannot do it alone. The responsibility boils down onto every parent and the family, communities, in order to safeguard the rights of our children across the board.
Okay, excuse me, sir. Can we ask you to move closer to your laptop? Because we're unable to get this amazing message you're trying to pass on. So could you please move closer to your laptop? Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm noting the fact that parenting and childcare entails multiple level and domain of skills, including productive relationship between parent and children, good communication, skill, and probably practical skills that will avail all children towards adhering more closely with their parents, and for the parents to identify child needs. It's very, very pertinent for parents at this time to be
Yes, go ahead.
I'm saying it's very pertinent for us to continue to live up to expectation as government and audiences involved, including uh, CSOs. I think at this moment we should stop the mantle of sensitizing parents and let them aware that all these skills I mentioned has to be inculcated in their words, and as well continue to find a lasting solution towards safety of their children. This I mentioned because parents should be more inclined to their responsibility and involvement, which will further address risk of abuse and exploitation. Even though the government has put all paraphernalia in place, we have the best of laws that could take care of this. We have the VAP Act, we have the CRA, we have the Torture Act, we have policies being driven by government, especially via national via the Ministry of Women Affairs, that is the coordinating agency for most of these activities. So I think uh, with the first bullet point, we should uh, live up to our expectations by sensitizing most parents, even though the objective of no family will not want to care for the child, but they may be driven by certain lapses from lack of vigilance or any other thing resulting from certain factors like family distraction, fixation resulting from technological involvement. Uh, the issue of cyber crime now is quite on the increase, and everybody has to always sensitize the children, whether or they are at home. They need close monitoring, and we have porous environmental challenges here and there. Poverty on the large scale has its own toll on the effect it has on all children. Then again, large family size will also be another hindrance factor on the part of the parents. So in the whole, what I'm driving at is we should uh, the awareness creation has to also be limited to children alone. It has to be taken to uh, fora where parents could be assessed and they should live up to expectation, so that we are talking about prevention as prevention of children from abuse. On their own part, they can do a lot through religious change, through several other things, uh, through their own uh, moral upbringing. Because children, of course, live to emulate or imitate parents as they go by with their. We're talking about the framework I've listed some documents, even international documents, protecting children. There is ICR, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, on Child Rights Convention, Convention on the Right of a Child, African Charter on the Right and Welfare of a Child. You see, there we have a lot of rules with which we can apply towards the protect children, but if it's to protection, the government knows what to do. We, on the part of the National Human Rights Commission, on daily basis, cases. We receive cases bordering on the protection of children or even prevention, as the case may be, especially resulting from family settings, wherein you see parties will not be able to comply towards either taking care of the family in its entirety. So we have we have counseling in place. We have so many things we do to ensure that, back up by terms of settlement, to ensure that parents actually.
Yes, come in.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Laundu. We just have like maybe 1 more minute left. Yeah, so go ahead.
Okay. So I think if I should round up on this aspect of the bullet one, which is a promotion of parental awareness, responsibility, and involvement. I would say prevention is key. Parents should be able to be sensitized to live above the danger zone, where I feel children are going to be abused, to be watchful, even including family relations. We should understand, parents should always understand their emotional triggers, so as not to also be found wanting of injuring the children or causing any harm. I think we should be able to sensitize them. Multi-sectoral approach towards that is needed. Then parents should be able to encourage and reach out for support in case there is any issues like this. So we can never underestimate this program. It's very, very apt, and we should continue to we should take our awareness promotion to the parents too. And parents should also sensitize, should be made to sensitize their children to understand the challenges of parenting, vis-a-vis balancing how to deal with them. Above all, child protective agencies should be more accountable for protecting children in their
Hello.
child.
Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Over to you, Adeyinka.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that enlightening talk on what the Human Rights Commission has been doing. We will come back to asking you questions. Maybe then we will have time for you to go deeper into specifics that you are doing concerning safeguarding children. So if Mr. Achibong is ready, we'll take him on. Otherwise, we will move on quickly to the representative of the Federal Ministry of Education. We believe we have present here, sir. We want to talk about the viewpoint of government on the menace and the strategies the government is putting into place, you know, to mitigate gaps. Can we have the representative of the Federal Minister of Education, please? Mr. Lekman, please, can you identify him or her? Case maybe. Okay.
No, we don't have. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
This is representative of Federal Ministry of Education.
Thank you very much, Ma. We see your name as Galaxy A02X. We would appreciate if you could just tell us your name so that we can see it on the screen. We don't want to identify you, Ma. Galaxy, much for that.
I am Josephine Chimezienwabiara.
Okay. Okay.
Josephine.
Okay.
Balaji.
Are you also Bolaji, madam?
No, I'm calling a staff to come and impute it.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, we're here.
I say I'm Josephine Chimezienwabiara.
Okay.
Representing Federal Ministry of Education. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you, Ma.
Just listening.
Adinka, you're muted.
Yes. Your question before now.
Okay.
Okay. Can you
I
hear
say
me
your
now?
question.
Yes, Ma. We said that we were hoping and we believe that you are ready for us to talk to us about the government's viewpoint on the menace of safeguarding in our schools and the strategies the government is putting in place to mitigate these possible strategies the government is putting in place to mitigate the gaps that we have concerning safeguarding in the educational sector.
Well, the government is trying to the best of its ability in putting up perimeter fencing is one of the things put in place, and surveillance of school by security agents such as police or NCDC, that's a civil defense, I mean, and civil defense and the local staff that are security staff are being trained in modern methods of safeguarding the school, and are putting security measures on those going in and going out of school, such as identification of people, even identification of both day and other students. And if you enter most of the institutions now, higher institutions, you see there are other modern security gadgets, such that before you enter the premises, there are certain gadgets that can dictate if one is having a dangerous weapon. These are some of the measures, and also awareness. Awareness has been the key to everything they've been doing, because our people perish for lack of knowledge. But now awareness is being created so that people can know on how to safeguard themselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was short and sharp and direct to the point. Thank you so much for that. Would you like to summarize that point, or should
Yes.
Mr. Achibong?
Well, what we can do, I will summarize. We will check if Mr. Achibong is ready. If he's ready, then we can go ahead. If not, I will summarize what has been said so far.
Okay.
What do you want me to say?
Okay, I think Mr. Achibong is here now. Hello, Lekon, are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you hearing me? Do you hear me?
We can hear you clearly, sir.
Yes, we can.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to really appreciate the organization for even finding time to come to my rescue, because one of your officers have to come down to where I am, and I'm now participating fully. I like that so much. This is one of the discussions that I believe will, spur up actions, proactive actions by stakeholders and gatekeepers and partners. My name is Achibong from the National Council of Child Rights Advocates of Nigeria. We have been working excessively to ensure that children are being protected. That is why we entered into training of teachers on child protection in school environments, and using most of them as child protection officers. We know that a lot of issues concerning safeguarding our children have been giving us a lot of issues. Policies are things that can help, but despite that, we also need machineries to implement these policies, even the Child Rights Act. Some years back, we're calling for the establishment of the Child Protection Commission. The Child Protection Commission, we look at it as a commission that will oversee everything concerning the Child Rights Act, which includes protection, participation, no, not really participation, protection, development, and survival of the Nigerian child. Because issues that has to do with participation mostly are social issues that the ministry, the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, and other ministries in the state and social welfare department can really handle. But issues concerning protection is a very, very serious one, and must stand just on its own. And so I would like to say that we have the laws. We are making an effort to make people know about it, but we're handicapped in implementing these laws. Some time ago, I think the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs with other partners, they started, training teachers, UNICEF, training police officer, DEX officer, doing everything to get the police, in line with how children issues can be handled. But you see, we have a challenge there, because today this police is promoted and sent to another department altogether, and then you start all over again. So what I'm trying to say in effect is that we should just have, a commission. We should have people to ensure that our children are well protected. Protection does not stop in just safeguarding. It also has to do with preventing and intervening. If it happens, what do you do? A lot of these children that are fall victim, of child abuse still need to be given a psychosocial support. So what is being done about that? So protection has a lot of things to do in terms of safeguarding our children. I think let me stop so far. If there's any other area you want me to talk about, I can do that. Oh, they are.
Achibong, we're not done with you.
We heard you.
We still call you back.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I think what we're going to do before I summarize, Adeyinka, if we would like to call the Honourable Minister to deliver her keynote speech, and then what I can do is I would look to summarize a lot of the topics that have been read today. So if you could go ahead and do that first, please, and then we'll come back.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Admin. Okay, so we should have done this earlier, but we were not sure that the presence of the Honourable Minister for Women's Affairs was with when we started. But we're sure we have the person here now. So can we please have the representative of the Minister for Women's Affairs? Please, can you give your keynote address? Thank you. Please, the representative of the Federal Minister for Women's Affairs and Social Development. Is she here now? Mr. Lekon.
Okay.
Is she here?
No, Lekon.
Let's get your summary, Giz.
Okay, what we'll do is we'll do the summary whilst we're waiting. Okay. So I've been introduced. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. It's amazing to see this number of people in the house. And as it has been said since morning that, we are gathered here to talk about, safeguarding the Nigerian child, which is very, very, very paramount. The children are our future, and incidentally, we're celebrating children. This is their era, Children's Day. It's been amazing to hear from the three speakers, and so many things that have seemed to tie in together is basically the need for us to safeguard our children. And I just want to reiterate what has already been said today. And Mr. Olarawaju Murtala stated that parents need to be involved in their children's lives. So you need to know where your children are going. You need to know at every point in time who your children are with, who are their friends, who are they engaging with. He also stated that awareness has been raised 3 times today by each speaker. And what does that tell us? That tells us that knowledge, you need to raise that awareness, because what we don't know, we cannot do. It's a close monitoring, triggers. Parents know the triggers. It's not enough for us to, have the children within us and not know what is affecting them psychologically. What has triggered your child to behave in a certain manner? What has led to those certain behaviors? Large family size, we're Africans, is what we do. In my language, chukunenyenwa, which means God gives children. It doesn't mean that if we have a large family, it's a bad thing, but it's about management. Know how to manage the large family so that the children don't get exposed to what they are not supposed to be exposed to. He talked about several acts, and I think what Saffron is going to do, we will liaise with the ministries to get those acts out, because I think even as individuals, we all need to be aware of the legislation around children. The legislation around children that is out in the community is key. Before you can talk about safeguarding a child, you need to understand how the legislation affects the way we are with our children. So what we will do is we'll see if we can share some links, if that is going to be a possibility, to be able to raise that awareness, because we will not want to think that everybody that is on here today knows about safeguarding or knows, the practices. Then I want to go on to Josephine Chimezie Nwobiara, who spoke on behalf of the Ministry of Education, I believe. And I love what you said about some of the strategies that the government are putting in place. And it's very, very comforting to hear that based on the menace that we're seeing within our society, that our government is stepping up to the mark. So, on behalf of SaffronSDGF, we want to say thank you to the Nigerian government for even, doing this. You said there were perimeter fences. Yes. Safeguarding the child's environment is very, very important. So by putting up those fences, we're looking at the fact that before somebody can get into these schools, they have to go through those checks. The idea of modern technology and safety gadgets, I believe you said that there are now like metal detectors which are being found within these schools. That is an amazing, amazing achievement. And that basically means now that you won't be able to walk into any of these communities or any of these schools with weapons to harm our children. So that was a welcome thing. And then the training is very key. The distinguished gentleman, Mr. Archibong, mentioned the training of teachers to be able to deliver effectively child protection. That is something that, you know, we as an organization are very, very, very hot on training. And then the idea of the police. Unfortunately, it is what it is. If police have to be moved around, yes, it is a challenge. But what I think would be amazing is if, you know, collaboration within states. When you do the work in Lagos State, the fact that those police have been trained and move on to Calabar, it basically should not stop the flow of the practice of protecting those children, because children should be protected no matter the state that they are in. So kudos to the ministry for implementing that training. And yes, there is still a lot to do. And as a village, we are 43 of us here today. And I'm hoping that as we leave this Zoom today, we're not just leaving another Zoom. We're going away from this Zoom with the idea that there is a lot to do. And as a people, we need to come together. You know, Saffron is very hot on collaborations and partnerships because we can't do this alone. I know somebody said the government can't do it alone either. And that is very, very true. We shouldn't sit down and think it's one man's job. It's all of our jobs to safeguard and protect our children. And having legislation out there is fine. But when you're not implementing the legislation and you're not carrying out what the legislation states, then you kind of make a mockery of the whole work everybody that is trying to safeguard these children are doing. So before we go, we will go back to see whether the Honourable Minister is here. But in a nutshell, our call to action today is we are asking everybody to come and sit down with us and let's strategize and let's find ways, the way forward, and bring to the table, bring your ideas to the table, how we can help the Nigerian child to be protected. And Mr. Archibong said it's not just about protection. You know, you've got to, it's preventative. You know, there was a statement he made and he said preventing and implementing, not just safeguarding. So if you safeguard the child is not enough. The idea is we need to prevent things from happening to them. We need to prevent negative things from happening to them. We need to prevent them from being harmed within their society, harmed within their homes, because we cannot take it away that these children are only being harmed in their schools, because they're not. They're being harmed within their homes as well. And how do you walk into somebody's home and say, your child is not safe? So be what I like to call is locus parentis. The fact that it's not your child does not mean you should not have a duty of care to that child. We need to have a duty of care to every child that is around us, whether it's our biological child or the next child. If you see or you feel that a child can come or is coming to some possible harm, you need to be able to intervene. And that was what Mr. Archibong used. That was the word. He said intervention. Okay. So the only way you can, you know, safely safeguard or effectively safeguard that child is by intervening in whatever harm or risk or hazard that that child might be facing. And I hope, you know, I know I've said a lot, but I hope in a nutshell, the three speakers, they all seem to have been on the same page. And it's basically what we're calling today, safeguarding the Nigerian child, is every everybody's responsibility. It's not just mine as a safeguarding practitioner. It's not just the mother or the fathers or the teachers. We all have a collective responsibility to safeguard the Nigerian child. So thank you so much, everybody that has listened today. Adeyinka, please, if you'd like to call on the Honourable Minister's representative and see if they are here, and if not, we can move on to the next bit of the agenda.
I do not see that they are here. I've been scrolling through, hoping to see.
Okay.
But we have with us today here, we have Hajia Miriam with us, Director General for Children's Niger State. This. Thank you, Madam.
Good morning, everybody.
And we believe that you will share with us from your wealth of experience in your dealing with children, particularly in Nigeria. Thank you. Good morning. It's still morning here.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
I'm so glad that you made it. Thank you. Because we're still waiting for the representative of the minister, except that person here, maybe the person can let us know that because we will have a way of.
What did you say?
Adia, we would like you to share with us now while we're waiting for the representative of the Ministry of Women.
Oh, very well. I'm very particularly happy to be on this program today, and quite excited that this is coming up. I believe that the more awareness that we make is what's going to be the future or the hope for the child. You see, when I'm talking about awareness, I mean that what you are doing now is awareness, is creating more and more awareness. We need to also step that down to the grassroots level so that we can capture those that are there. Because you see, a lot of people at the grassroots don't even know when their rights are being violated, this particular thing is being violated. Now, if you're talking about even though that, no, yes, is a wrong committed to their daughter, and then you are talking about giving them, you see people even negotiating, we'll give you 10,000, as little as 10,000. And you find the parents, compromising because they have not seen that 10,000 and they feel what the hell for the child. But I feel that we have a lot of sensitization to do, even at the grassroots, to educate a lot of people on what is going on and where that right starts and ends. You cannot just terminate the rights of a child who can't speak. There's also the psychological tumor that is ongoing within the minds of that girl. You wonder, well, how is she going to come over it? What's going to become her future? How is her relationship going to be with men in the future, with her husband, if she even gets to get married? So we really have a lot of work to do, but I feel that they have already started it and we will get there. We have quite a lot of very, 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 very touching instances, or should I say cases, that you start to wonder, where do you start from? Where do you go? We need to join hands. A particular case or several cases that we've had of minors actually being raped and being infected with deadly diseases like HIV, and the man is having the audacity to even tell her and tell people, well, everybody knows he has HIV. So just because he slept with her, if she's claiming he slept with her, no problem, he's going to marry her. And I had to tell them that just because you are offering her marriage does not mean that she wants to even marry you for starters, or it ends there. The rape had occurred, and you cannot gratify an illegal thing with marriage. Fortunately enough for us, when the mother and of course the girl noticed that there was somebody that was really ready to back them up, they now went in, and we're now in court presently, and said they are not even interested in the marriage in the first place. What they want is the rights of this girl because he actually raped her, then you find that if we all put our hands together, and most importantly, I think in every state, the political will. Once there is political will from those in governance, you see things move on fast. Like Niger State, we have full political will from the governor. That's why we even have an enforcement agency like the Child Rights Agency in Niger State, you know, and the governor is always there for us. The wife of the governor is always there for us on all cases. In fact, I think recently she was able to do something to make sure that we're being captured because of the challenges that we get with victims. And under the VAP law, they were slightly captured there. Because you see, when a person is raped, you rape a girl and then you take her to the hospital, the government provides free hospital for victims of rape in Niger State. Okay, and then what next? You understand? You take her, you pay for getting their free medication. What next? The parents cannot even afford to give her a good diet, even in the hospital, which she needs to recuperate, you know? So we had to look at all those challenges. And then when she comes out at the society again, what happens? The society ready to take her or not? Now we make it a policy that for the society, we go to the local government or area, wherever it had occurred, and we do a public hearing when, if the rape has been publicized, you understand, if they were caught with a group of their people, lots of, we'll go back there and tell them, this is our hero, and this is the person you people should hate, not this little girl. You understand? And she's our hero, and you should know that she's now under our care, and everybody should now stand as a watchdog for her. You know? So you don't at any time let these victims to be. You must empower them. We'll put them in school free, but you have to empower the parents, because it was the poverty in the first place that led to the girl being over abused.
Yeah.
And then we also have some instances where a girl is being, do you even call it rape? Where she actually takes herself, well, because under the law, anything below 18 is termed rape. But then when the girl takes herself today and she's giving gratification of 10 naira, 500, 10 naira, 300, well, all my years, this is like 8 or 9 years on that seat. I have not seen a situation where anybody has been giving gratification to the tune of 1,000 naira. It's always 500, 3, 4, 2. Most times 200, most times zero gratification. You know?
No.
So psychologically, if a girl keeps taking herself there, what are you going to call that? She took herself there, he raped her first. She took herself there the second time and he raped her. So what do you call the third time and the fourth and the fifth? So we need a lot of awareness from not only the child, but the parents, you know, because change has to start with the parents. If you are more watchful about your child, you will now notice when your child becomes to divert to another area, and then you will be able to take appropriate action as regards to what is happening.
Thank you so much. I'm sure if we let you, you will say till tomorrow, because I see that you're very passionate.
I'm extremely passionate. I'm extremely passionate. I really have quite a.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Hajia. We're grateful. Please don't go. We're still going to call on you. You're going to have a question very soon. Okay. I understand that the representative of the Federal Minister of Health is here. Please kindly unmute yourself. And after that, we would have the representative of Lagos State MYSD to be ready to share on our 5 minutes agenda. Representative of the Federal Minister of Health, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're muted.
It's Dr. James. I've asked you to unmute, sir. If you'd like to unmute.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever the timing is, where you are. So the I bring you greetings from the Honourable Minister of Health, who has indicated that is happy with this initiative and has asked that we be part of this. And so we appreciate what the Saffron group is doing. And I just need to bring to fore the fact that the Ministry of Health is passionate about the plight of children who are having special vulnerabilities. And so very recently, as recent as like 6-7 months ago, the Ministry of Health set up a new program, a branch in the Federal Ministry of Health under Child Division called Children with Special Needs. And the aim is so that this branch can focus on the health of children who have special vulnerabilities. It covers children who are born with birth defects, children who have hereditary or developmental challenges, children who are in orphans, and then children who happen to be in some difficult circumstances like displaced situation or situation of abuse, humanitarian setting, and things like that. So the aim is to have that as a ministry, as a ministry, we have a focus on the health of these people. We recognize that a lot of other players have been active in this forum, in this space, but we found that their health has not been enjoying the maximum as it should. So this is part of what we are bringing on the plate now. So thank you, everybody, and we wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Oh, I'm muted. Thank you, sir, for that short and precise delivery. And we're glad that, because you're about the first to mention children with disabilities, living with disabilities, we're glad that the Ministry of Health is actually looking into that. Not that other have not been focusing on it, but you did mention that, and we will take that on board. We will come back to you on that. Thank you very much. If the Lagos State representative from the Ministry of Youth and Social Development, where Saffron started in Nigeria, worked extensively with Lagos State, partnered with Lagos State in institutionalizing to a large extent. Lagos State has been in the forefront of child protection. Saffron brought the dimension of safeguarding into Lagos State. Mr. Odukoya, please, are you here? Do we have any representative from Lagos State? Oh, do we have any representative from Lagos State? Okay. Giz?
Yeah.
Giz?
I'm here.
Do I have a question to talk a bit about what Lagos State has been doing? Just a bit.
Okay, I think I'm going to need to call on, just bear with me. I think Yemi will,
maybe Yemi too.
Yes.
Yes.
Somebody has just raised their hand. Is that from Lagos? Paulina Uga, yes? Okay, go ahead. I've asked you to unmute.
Good morning all.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm representing Subeb Lagos.
Okay.
At Subeb level, we've taken it upon ourselves to train school counselors who do also go to school to do step down for the school, for the teachers. And at the same time, from time to time, we gather parents to sensitize them on their roles in preventing their children from being abused. This has yielded a lot of results. Just a few weeks ago, where we have gotten songs, abuse sexual songs, action point songs that the children, we thought our counselors and all the children in public primary school in Lagos State have known the songs. As they sing these songs, it's creating awareness to the children to know that they have power over their body. Nobody has right to touch their body, and they should speak out. They should be, they have been taught how to be assertive, how to speak out. In fact, one of the local government, while the teacher was sensitizing the children, they need that nobody has right to touch their children. In the process, one of the child started crying in the class, and they brought her to the counselor. Why are you crying? Say, you said nobody has power over my body, but my stepfather is sleeping with me. It was through these songs that it has helped us a lot for the children to come up to speak out their voices concerning abuse. Like the previous people have said, a lot depend on the parents. We are now tackling the parents for them to be involved, because we see that the more this rape, the more this rape are being, the perpetrators are being arrested, the more the rape continue. So the parents really have to be involved in advocating for the children, more especially when it comes to abuse. The parents, most cases, they will say, I don't want to continue with the case again. They have been begging me. It has been a lot. It has been our one of the things that is challenge that we are having in Lagos State. The parents will say they want to pack up. They don't want to continue with the case again. I don't want my name to be mentioned. You know, we really have to sensitize them, for them to see the need that the perpetrator must be prosecuted. We cannot leave the persecutor in the community, because we don't know how many children the person has been abused. Lagos State suburb level, we've been trying a lot, but I want to mention that one of the challenges is that when the case is brought to police, in fact, if care is not taken, the place will be thwarted, and even they will be demanding for money, and all those things is affecting prosecution of the case. At Lagos suburb, we have tried a lot. Our counselors have been trained and retrained, teachers trained and retrained, parents have been involved, parent forum have been involved. Then a lot has been done at Lagos State suburb level for sensitizing the parents, sensitizing the teachers, and as counselor, we sing one of the songs that the children are now singing. My body belongs to me. It belongs to only me. It is mine and not yours. It belongs to only me. If you touch my private part, I will tell. If you touch my private part, I will tell. I will tell it to my mommy. I will tell it to my daddy. If you touch my private part, I will tell. Parents, listen to your children. We are the joy of tomorrow. Try to shield us from abuse and guide us to open up to you. And so many more of these songs.
Awesome.
All the students in public primary
Yeah,
schools are
that's nice.
singing it.
Thank you so much, Subeb. That was amazing. Thank you for that amazing input. And we do look forward to teaming up with you in the near future. Kudos to your whole team, and just continue doing what you're doing to protect and safeguard the Nigerian children. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, over to you, Adeyinka.
Thank you so much, Subeb. That was fun. Even I sang with you. Okay, so quickly, well, we were hoping somebody will talk from MYSD, but I think Subeb did justice that Lagos State is doing much more. except Yemi wants to talk about what Saffron did with Lagos State and is still doing with Lagos State. Thank you so much, Subed. Yemi, over to you.
Oh wow, thank you so much. I was nearly you know, jiggling my head there, listening to Subeb, and we have seen these videos about with these young children um singing these songs, and it is really good to see the effect that instantly it starts to have on reporting cases. And that's the beauty of jingles, songs, and using these communication styles to educate children. This is part of what we will be having in our Safeguarding Children Champions, which Paul was meant to really elaborate on. But we will post all of these results or all of these discussions up on our website. So please feel free to scroll through the website. Everything that we have addressed here today is going to be put up on all our websites and social media handles. So please update yourselves. Um, where do I start? Paul started that conversations about the work that we started to do in Lagos State in 2015. We actually, our first letter went out to the Safety Commission, then in Lagos State, which was then headed by the one and only Miss Dominga Odebumi. She was the Director General at the time. What I call her the one and only, my DG1. But she really championed the work that we did and supported us in trying to get through to ministries. I'm not going to give a lecture, but if we're effectively going to safeguard the Nigerian child, safeguarding is meant to be championed by people who can give the word for actions to take place. That's why when we have the Safeguarding Children Board or partnership, and in the UK, and I'm referring to that because that's where I worked for 20 odd years before then coming to Nigeria, is the fact that it's meant to be championed by people who make decisions. So somebody who can give an order and everyone else follows. So it's a top to bottom and bottom to top. And we end up meeting in the middle and being very much or most effective in that way. Safeguarding the Nigerian child, the objective that we championed in 2015 was really pushed through our first conference, which was in October 2015 at the Sheraton Hotels. And we focused on education. What we really wanted to do then was learn um, what what was in place, what policies were in place, what programs were in place, what the government was doing, what the ministries were doing. So we took close to a year to really get to study how children were being supported. We and I know if we have a lot of Lagos people, I call our Lagos people on here, they will testify to the fact that we really, really studied. We sat with them, we discussed, we learned a whole lot. There's no way you can come in to support anyone without understanding how they work, how they impact, and then how you can, and that our hashtag is bridge the gap. And all we want to do is bridge the gap. There are some awesome, fabulous work being done in Nigeria. Diaspora, we have a voiceover talk show which we air every Wednesday evening in the UK. It's called the Voiceover Talk Show. And a lot of people in the diaspora have not got a clue as to the amount of work that is being done in Nigeria. So a lot of times we ask our partners in Nigeria to come over and showcase what you're doing, because that way we will get a lot more support. We will get people in diaspora to support what we're doing out in Nigeria too. Born in the UK, live in the UK. Hello, we have our roots planted in Nigeria. Hence, we will always return to continue to enable and support the Nigerian child. We were then invited, we had a lot of advocacies, and we were then invited to sit on the Lagos State Safeguarding Child Protection and Child Rights Committee. That committee was where we were fortunate to then be able to support the committee um, in working towards delivering the Lagos State Safeguarding and Child Protection Policy and practices and procedures. We also have procedures for schools. So schools reporting techniques, what needs to be in place in every school. We've delivered a lot of training through to with Lagos State practitioners, our councillors, the police. Multi-agency training delivery is most effective, and that is where we have been able to reach out to so many people and organizations within the state and children and schools. We have, I can't count how many schools. I know our training coordinator is on board, and I hope that she will be able to interject somewhere later, but we have been blessed to have been able to support the work that is going on. Hence, we have asked that we bring this up to the national level. The alarming rate of child abuse, rape, especially over the lockdown, and it's not only in Nigeria. We've had our fair share in the UK as well, but every day we have to continue to reach out to look at holes that we can plug. So where are the gaps? We need to be plugging them like you're plugging sinkholes. We need to be identifying them, and we need to then be pulling out resources, combined resources, to then ensure that children are safer. You know, sometimes I think adults tend to forget that they were children at some point, and these are the children, our young people that will grow up to be the national champions. They'll grow up to be our leaders, our ministers, our I don't know, consultants, directors. We need to invest more in them. And it's not just about education. There are safe, they need to grow up in nurtured and safe environments. The lady from education was talking about how we're making our schools safer. We don't dwell on politics. However, insurgencies in different areas of the country continue to make our children very vulnerable, and they're in vulnerable positions. This is why we're here at this table. The way forward is that we have a collaborated effort to move our children into safer environments. I believe that's what you've asked of me, Giz. Is there anything else you'd like me to focus on?
No, I think you've really you've given us exactly right from 2015 up until today. Yeah, and you've basically said it. That's why we're here. I think for unless there's anything else you want to add.
Yes, I did miss out on something.
Yeah.
That we have a specific focus on the SDGs.
Thank you.
Everyone, I knew you were going to kick me up on that. Every one of our programs focuses and is directed also at achieving the SDGs. So we focused on SDG 3, 4, which is education, 7, I know with 16, and the final one, 17, which is partnerships. There is no way we can endure it without some partnerships. And also the fact that we also have a United Nations platform as partners on the United Nations platform for achieving the SDGs. we have a specific focus also on children with ability, different abilities.
Different abilities.
Yes, I'm trying. You know, I don't like to use the word, I don't like the D word, with different abilities.
That's right.
We have partners who we work with on that level, and they're here today, and we will be hearing from them, albeit that we probably won't be able to give them the full time that we planned. But we are determined to work towards our outcomes for today. So please, thank you so much for continuing to stay with us. If I have anyone else from Lagos States, please feel free to speak. I'm hoping that we would have Mrs. Dominga Odebumi to give us a few words, because she has been our chair for so many years. It will be good to hear from her. So prepare yourself, please, ma'am. And is there anyone else? And also Miss Yemisi Jenkins from the Home Office Immigration Team. She is the lead for the Nigerian communities, possibly African communities, because she stretches her arms across, and she would like to speak with us as well. We have Miss Grace Alexander as well. So it is very informative. And how do you ask me? Someone actually dissect how does immigration how does it interject in what we're discussing? I'm hoping that Miss Yemisi Jenkins will speak to you about that, because we have people crossing the borders every single day. We have people not understanding the laws that are on this side of the waters, and how they then get into situations with our social care and child protection system. We have a very large overrepresentation of the Black African children on the child protection systems. It is our sole aim to reduce that out here. So please, who would like to speak next? Feel free, please. Over to you. Thank you.
Over to you, Adeyinka.
Yeah. So I would like to call on Mrs. Otito Loju if she has anything to contribute. Is she here?
I'm not sure she's in the house.
Otherwise, I would just
Miss Grace Alexander, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Auntie Grace.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me and for being partner of this wonderful, wonderful event. Yes, we are disability advocates, and I'm also a proud mother of an adorable, a young man who is 26, my last child, who is living with disability. There is nothing wrong actually for using the D word, because one thing that I don't see it as a label. I see children or persons living with disability as people with additional needs. And it doesn't mean it's an illness. It's not an illness. It's just a way of life. That's how I see people with disability. And one of the things is about the fact that, what do you mean by when it comes to safeguarding? Safeguarding means, when you check, you Google it, safeguarding means protecting every child, every human being. We are concentrating on children now, today. Every human being, every child, from harm, from danger, from damage, with a reasonable measure. So it's about talking about what measures are we going to put in place for children with disability. Every child matters. Every child counts. Because they have disability does not mean they cannot do anything. Because they have disability does not mean they are not human beings. They are human beings first and foremost. And we know that when it comes to abuse, we have 4 kinds of abuse, but that can be put into other categories as well. But 4 that are common, because I also train as a social worker in England, is 1, physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, and neglect. So, and how do we protect them? We see that these environmental factors within our system are actually contributing why the abuse, why the abuse are actually, why the children or persons with disability are actually at risk of abuse. And one of the things I would like to also mention is that this COVID actually highlights a lot of social gaps, heighten the risk to sexual abuse, to physical abuse, to emotional abuse, and to neglect. To neglect. So neglect could be intentional and might not be unintentional. But one thing is that the school of thought categorizes as neglect. So how do we protect children with disability, especially in our schools? How do we protect in every home? How do we protect these children from a lot of abuse? Some of these children, but realize that disability is a wide spectrum. Disability is not only people that are blind, people that are deaf, people that are on wheelchairs. Disability are people with that are neurodiverse. What I mean by that are those things that manifest in their behavior, but you cannot see them, like attention deficit disorder, like people like having Asperger's, autism. They are very intelligent, they are very bright, but their behavior, that's how you manifest. People with OCD, a lot of hidden disability, people with dyslexia who are dyslexic. In Nigeria, they will say adidini. They will call it like this girl is so weird, or the way he behaves, the way she behaves. But one of the things is that because of their disability, you cannot say they are not human beings or they are not children. Or that. So how do we safeguard those children from harm? And what research has mentioned that most people that are actually perpetrating those abuses, like the physical, like the sexual, like the emotional, like the neglect, are people that are close to them. So how do we safeguard? What measures do we have to put in place? In schools, what measures do we put in place? How do you report? How do you report incidents? How do you report incidents? Are there documents where you can report incidents? Are you able to see children to notice the behavior of those children that are actually hurting inside but can manifest in there? What are the things that you see? If a child is withdrawn, who is always very talking or crying all the time, how do you know? And how do you know? You know when you see those signs and you investigate. So how do you investigate and make sure that those things are carried to? And do you realize that people don't realize that all these abuses are associated with trauma? Trauma can come from one single trauma and it starts transferring to another trauma, then it becomes complex trauma. So if a child is abused sexually, especially with disability, whether the child we have a case of children, a lot of them that are being abused at home, either physically or sexually. And the perpetrators are either their neighbors or people that are, even their parents too, can be abusers. So how do we now raise, thank God for Saffron, who's been raising awareness about different forms of how we can now safeguard our children. How do you safeguard them from school? How do you educate them? Because they have disability, because they have disabilities, do not mean they cannot understand their environment. They don't understand what is happening to them. It's just that the way they come across is different. So how do we come across to them? How do we treat them? One thing they can, anybody, irrespective of your disability, how complex your disability, any child will respond to love. Any child will respond to love. So how do we make sure that those children are in schools, at homes? So there's still a lot of, two things can kill anybody. I will mention that. One of them is negligence and ignorance. Through awareness that Saffron is raising now, we cannot say I mean, the conversation we have to keep on the conversation. to, because there a lot of awareness needs to be raised in this area of protecting every child, especially children with disability. They are actually, they are suffering. And then another one is negligence. So if you are not safeguarding them in schools, if our system is failing to safeguard them, that means that is a form of abuse, which is neglect. Neglect is also come from the word negligence. So it's important that our children with disability, we safeguard them in every area. Teachers, parents, there have to be an awareness. And the environment has to be enabling for every child to strive and flourish. So, and how can we do this? By putting reasonable measures in place to protect them from every form of abuse, which I mentioned earlier, that is physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, and neglect.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that input, Auntie Grace. That was amazing. Thank you so much. We've learned so much. Yes, over to you, Adinka.
Yes, I think now we will call on Mrs. Well, I hope it's Mrs. Bola Segilola, Madam Bola Segilola. Would you like to share with us from your wealth of experience?
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Saffron.
Just a minute. Please, we're giving you 3 minutes because we have like 3 more people who have to speak.
Yeah.
And Mildred, Madam Mildred, get ready. Madam Mildred of NAPTIP. Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam. We're grateful.
Yes, Saffron. I'd like to say good morning, if we're still in the morning in Nigeria, to everybody, and respect to the honorables in the house. I've listened extensively to what has been said this morning, and I must say I'm delighted to be here. Kudos to you, Saffron. I want to start my conversation from, I actually prepared a slide, but that won't work at this time. So I'm just going to go straight to the insights that I have received here this morning and start my conversation on what Auntie Grace had said this morning. She asked a very vital question, and that is going to be my point of focus now. She asked, how do you protect the child who is in school? I'm an educator and I work in school. We don't use the D word, ma'am, that means me. We'll use the term, how do you protect the child who is living and learning differently? We do that because we don't want them stigmatized. Now, I have worked with a lot of children learning who is living and learning differently in schools. And I have worked with teachers, I have worked with school managers, education directors who still neglect, I'm picking that word up, neglect these children, irrespective of what the kind of promises we have made to their parents. Now, the negligence comes as a result of the kind of output that the children give. And unless you understand them, unless you take time to value, to learn about the values that they possess, that I wrote about the intrinsic need and the way they think. They have such wonderful values. And except the teachers in school, the school managers, whoever is living with them, their caregivers, their nannies, take time out to tap into that values that they have. They are such wonderful people to deal with, such wonderful people to learn. And the only thing I go, I'm just going to say, the only thing I go doing all the time when I'm with them is educate. Bring out those wonderful values, those things that make them who they are. I have a special child I was currently working with. She is so sociable, but she is speech defective. She cannot speak. People tell me I am the only one that understands a language. I understand a language because I take time out to know her. So except people have enough time to know these children, then they feel frustrated. They feel frustrated. The child, both the teacher and the children all have this thing within them that makes them who we are. And I'm calling on Saffron now this morning. If we're going to set up our policies and what all that we're going to be looking at after this timeout, I want us to look at this aspect. I want us to seriously consider this aspect, which has to do with both the children and the teachers' emotion. There's a piece, there's a need for us to look strictly into the teacher's emotional security and the learner's emotional security. The moment people are not secured, they feel they're not, then they don't put in their best. So what can we do to make that caregiver secured, emotionally secured, so that while we are at work as parents, they give in their best to the children at home? How can we help them to learn of the intrinsic values that this child possesses so that they can be able to tap on it and bring out the best in that child? So that's basically the how that personally, and with some of my colleagues who do it, have been able to use in school. And except other people who even work with them, except they understand the need to tap into these intrinsic values, then there will continue to be problems. So in safeguarding, so much importance should be given to emotional security of whoever is safeguarding the child. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. And I like that terminology, people who learn differently. I think that sums it up. We all have different styles of learning anyway, regardless. We all learn differently. And so the fact that some people learn this way and mainstream learn that way should not make anybody different. Thank you so much for that. We'd like to call now on Madam Mildred. She's representing NAPTIP. Thank you, Mrs. Gilola. We're grateful to you and for that contribution. We appreciate you. Madam Mildred. Madam Mildred, thank you for speaking up now.
Well, she's on here, but I don't think she's
is she muted?
It's probably multitasking.
It's probably multitasking. She has been asked to unmute, but I'm not sure she's able to pick that up.
Can we move on to the next person?
Yeah, let's move on to the next one. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, can we ask you to, I'm muting, and once I mute, if you would not unmute unless you're speaking, please. Thank you so much. Okay, go ahead, Adenka.
Okay, so with all pleasure, I'd like to call Mrs. Domingo Martins Odebumi. She was the first Director General of Lagos State Safety Commission, and she's the chairman of SaffronSDGF. Please, madam, could you kindly unmute yourself and grace us with your presence and
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. Really, really appreciate everyone. I have a very short encouragement for Saffron. As always, it's not a speech, it's just a really short encouragement. Yes, indeed, 2015, it's interesting. 2015 for Saffron, I believe, was divinity, because I started with the government in 2010 officially. Prior to that, of course, a lot of passionate drive and initiative to get things like this going with the Lagos State government. took us as far back as 2006. So just to give you an idea of how long that people may have to push until you start seeing results. So Saffron, you're doing a very great job. 2015, I was meant to finish in 2014 with the last government then, that was Governor Fashola. But I believe that the transition to the next government was divine for Saffron. So 2015, Saffron came on board. I observed and I thought, okay, we've seen so many initiatives. We've seen so many people come forward to say we're passionate about this, but you will know the different ones. So, and to be honest with you, there was no shine about it. Saffron, Yemi, and her team, they were so dogged. And you could feel the passion. You could feel that they weren't going to let go. So I had no choice than to make room for Saffron's vision, to the point of let's start with the youth and sport, let's get the legal counsel, let's go, it was basically, what do you want to achieve? Because we see that every day. What is your drive? And she was quite clear that there are no guiding principles, that would help. So that was how the journey started. And like I said, she pushed and pushed. So yeah, the vision could not be ignored. My time, yeah, like I said, it was meant for Saffron to just make sure that they have a good takeoff. And they roll on 2015 before I left the government. Coincidentally, I left government in 2015, though I still work with them as a support. But I must say, this is what I would like to leave with Saffron's team. Songs are powerful. Children respond well to songs. I'm looking forward to seeing or hearing a jingle from Saffron. Saffron and the team, you're very creative, you're very powerful, you've got the energy. You need to have a jingle. You cannot but have a jingle. And that jingle would have to cut across every child, not necessarily children in Nigeria alone or children in UK or wherever they are, but you need to have a jingle. You also need to come up with songs, rhymes that children will say. I mean, that was a very good example, classic example from Subeb. I saw the video and I couldn't help it. I had to just keep posting it. It sounded a little, kind of funny, but that's the world we are now. If we want to really achieve different things, we have to do things differently. So we are in the world where we have to do things differently. Jingle, songs, rhymes, go for it. That's number one. And number two, God willing, have a compilation of Dare to Be Different children that would become ambassadors, that would be able to demystify the stigma that you would have on your books, and you will celebrate different things that you are doing in their lives on such a program like this. So really, that's really what I just want to leave us with this morning. I'm proud of Saffron. I'm proud of the team, especially for your consistency during the lockdown. I was following you. I wasn't involved in the book, but I was now and again connecting with your programs. So proud of you. Well done, well done, well done. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. You are going to really do well. Well done. Congrats.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nice, your beautiful face again.
Thank you. I have to go into another meeting, so pardon me. I'll just be in the background. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Mildred, are you ready for us? And while she's trying to unmute herself, I know we're quite a number here, and I know that we all might have things to add and things to say. And, we're burning data here in Nigeria. I don't know what it is like for you in the UK. So I'm going to ask that if you do have anything to contribute, could you please leave them in the chat? Could you leave your contributions in the chat, please? And we will recognize you because we're going to copy it and we're going to know who said what. Thank you very much. Madam Mildred. Madam Mildred.
If she's not, somebody's got their hand up. So if we can go to that person, probably give them a couple of minutes, and then we'll have Yemisi Jenkins, MBA, come on.
Okay.
MBA,
Okay.
member of the
Ethel Otabo, if you want to unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's Otabo from SUBEB. Just wanted to add a little, make a little contribution. That's on children learning differently. That at SUBEB level, we already have inclusive schools within our mainstream schools. The inclusive schools are for children learning, children with learning disabilities, learning differently, sorry. Yeah. So these children, the purpose for this is for the children learning differently to be able to mix up with the children in the mainstream school. So they come together, make friends, work together, play together, so that they don't see them as, oh, these people are different from me, I can't play with them, I can't do anything with them. So, and in all our schools, we already have school counselors that attend to all of them, both children in the inclusive and the children in the mainstream. The teachers in the inclusive are teachers who are professionals that are trained, that will be able to handle, that are able to handle children learning differently. So the issue of children learning differently at SUBEB level has already been handled. They are working, they work together, that because they are learning differently, that is why we give them their inclusive school, but it is situated within the mainstream schools.
Yes. So much. We're grateful to you.
We call it inclusive schools.
Lagos State is doing a lot concerning children. There is much more than that Lagos State can do, but I know that Lagos State is actually working hard towards safeguarding and protecting our children. Thank you so much for that. The lady
Yemisi Jenkins, please.
Okay.
Miss Yemisi Jenkins?
Hi.
2 minutes.
Yes, I am here. Sorry. Hi. Apologies that my camera is on. Let me just acknowledge everybody that has spoken so far. This is long overdue, as in this conversation is long overdue. But what thing I would like to add is, yes, we can do all of this, but we need to bring the parents on board, because, take for example, when a child is going through certain things, for example, maybe being molested and tries to open up to the parents, some parents do not know the signs, and they even till today, still thinking maybe the child is just being mischievous. So we need to set something for parents to actually educate them that when it comes to your child, number one, for you to understand your child, you need to spend time with your child. Throwing money at your child is not love. A lot of people think that, yes, I provide you food, I travel out of the country X number of times, that is not love. We need to develop that relationship, so much so that it will enable the child to come up to you and tell you what they're going through. But if we don't educate the parents to have a good understanding of the impact when they dismiss their child, then all that we're doing is going to be lopsided, and it's not going to be as effective as we want it to be. I read on the side chart, somebody talked about the teachers, and yes, I know, Nigeria, where, because you are a big man, big woman in quote, when teachers see things, the fear of reprisal if they report it is stopping them from doing that. I read that on the site. I think that's a very good point, because don't forget that these things, we pick them, if the teacher doesn't pick them up, I mean, all the places where these children go to will pick them up. So we need to empower the parents as well. Maybe we need to create some sort of safe space where if they notice, rather than they being the one to refer it, they will refer it to professionals who then take it on board. So you take the burden off the teachers when it comes to seeing those things and reporting them, and not sending some police or soldiers to go and beat them up at home. Yes, so that would be my contribution. But Saffron, well done. Thank you for this. This is your passion. This is what you have been doing. And the impact, we're seeing the impacts. Yes, it may be bits and bobs, but little drops of water, they say, makes the mighty ocean. And I hope and pray that the various state governments in Nigeria would engage you more, because what you're providing for them, I mean, they all have children. So it's not a case of I can't be affected or this cannot impact on me. How would you feel as a parent, your child is being molested and you're not aware? By your drivers, by your cleaners, by your nannies and things like that. Even women, your husbands or mothers are abusing their children. So all this, it is everybody's responsibility. And we need to start educating ourselves. We need to start listening, and we need to start talking more. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm trying to make my face show. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, thank you so much for that. So it looks to me like we've been going around certain issues: awareness, parents, teachers, schools, generally. We need to start pulling these things together now so that we can have measurable outcomes. We have talked extensively today about safeguarding our children, protecting them, preventing them from being molested, being abused, talked about violence against children, and all of those things that the convention spoke about. So we want to throw the floor open, and we really won't say indefinitely. We're going to try to control it. So if you do have anything to share, the outcomes, what can be the outcome of this meeting? Where do you want us to go from here? We would like you to indicate by raising your hands. We had said people could put it in the chat, but also want to give us like a minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute to go straight to the point. Please don't let us be Nigerians today. Don't let us greet everybody. Let's just, share what we share.
Okay.
Am I to talk now?
Yes, please. Yes.
Am I on?
Yes, you're on.
Yes, you're on.
Nikke's Galaxy, it's very difficult when we don't have your names. We end up calling you by the make of your phone. So we're speaking to Nikke's Galaxy.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Can
you
hello.
Hear me? Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Somebody else is speaking. Hello. My name is Nikke Ijoma. Mrs. Nikke Ijoma.
Okay.
Can I speak on? Somebody else is speaking.
No, go ahead, Nikke. Go ahead, Nikke.
All right then. Yes, my name is Nikke Ijoma. I work with Change Managers International Network. We are particular about education, and we work with education for our children. We thank God for what has been happening with Lagos State, that they are including the D children, as we will call them, in the education system. They want them to go to the same school because life is the same. They're going to come out and live with all these children together. So they have to learn to be with them from that age. What I would like to say now is that there's some children, despite all their problems, they have still continued to excel. I would like to say that if these children who excel, if they can be made known so that other people will see them, it will be an encouragement to other children in that situation. And it also helps the children who are doing well to do better. I think it would be good if you can bring them out and let the people know them so that they will encourage these children, encourage the people around them, encourage their parents, and encourage people like them. That is my contribution. Thank you very much, Saffron. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Yes, so we should not hide our children that are excelling, even though they are learning differently. Thank you very much. Yes, yes, we had somebody who was trying to talk at the same time.
Yeah.
Please, can you
unmute them? Okay, go ahead.
All right, my name is Achibong, and I think that for a way forward, we should look at those organizations who actually focus on the area we have just talked about. Maybe those in Abuja should come together and we look at things practically, and we give our own input in the policy, aside what we have all said here, so that there will be documented from Abuja, from Lagos, wherever they have sat down together, they have contributed to this program, so that more questions, more time will be allotted. Like in Abuja, if you pick a day, and the coordinator in Abuja is to host the meeting with those people in Abuja, I think we'll do a better work. We'll make a better input. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And if I just go a step further, so if we have the Abuja people teaming together, the Lagos people teaming together, we can actually have a joint conference and compare notes and help one another.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Mr. Achibong?
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think so. I think so.
Anybody else? And thank you for keeping to time, everybody.
Okay, yes, let me unmute Dr. Mrs. Apodiari Hart. Okay, just bear with me, asked to unmute. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, please. Ngozi has already mentioned my name. My name is Apodiari. I am a banker, and I said to her that I wanted to be part of this. For very personal reasons, you know, and somewhat is two-pronged. One being that, just like a lady talked about her son, I also have a younger sister, you know, who has a Down syndrome somewhat. I think by way of encouraging us, if you have people like that around you, you don't hide them, you bring them out. You'd be shocked at the abilities these people have, which because of their outward disposition, they are not able to exert. Then number two, I wanted to mention to the lady from Niger State or so, fine, your drive in your state is really, really fantastic, but I would beg those in authority, these offenders, those that rape children, the pedophiles, those that, you know, these guys almost all the time go unpunished. And that is why these things keep thriving. Imagine the man raping a girl and says he will marry her offhandishly. If not that, maybe thanks, no, I mean, giving God all the glory that the family, they were able to push and fight for the girl's rights. That is how you, and all those parents that come and say, no, please, I don't want, please, we don't want to be exposed. That is rubbish. We must be able to stand for this. Otherwise, this menace will continue to grow in society. Those are my contributions. Thank you, Ziggy, for inviting me. I truly have learned a whole lot, and I appreciate this session with you guys. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Giz, you were going to say something?
No. I know we have quite a few people's hands up. I am a bit conscious of time, so I'm just going to ask if people can keep it very brief, because we have some announcements we need to make towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so I think, Oli, you've got your hand up, yeah? Go ahead, Oli.
Yeah. I'm on mute.
Okay, you're unmuted.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. And yeah, sorry, I was multitasking. in a different meeting and just jumping into another one. Safeguarding, I think in going forward, right, there are three things that I'm picking up. The first one is we cannot safeguard any child from government if we can't hold the government to account, right? One of the reasons why I was quite interested in this meeting is because obviously we had the ministers, and I think we need to, I understand the fact that we have, is it NGOs are called in Nigeria now? Yeah, NGOs. It's nice that the NGOs are in the forefront, you know, doing the awareness and stuff like that, but the government needs to be brought in the middle of all of this, because they are the ones, so like the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of, is it Women and Youth, whatever it is, you know, those ministries that are responsible for working with families, those, and education and health and justice, they need to come together, because in safeguarding a child, obviously we're looking at school, there's quite a lot of topics that have come under school. We also need to look at the home front. Obviously the Ministry for Women Affairs or whatever it is, they also come into accountability, whereby everybody is working together. There's a policy that is robust enough, irrespective of wherever you are in Nigeria. That policy reaches out to everybody. And that way, a child can be safeguarded. It doesn't matter whether the child is a disabled child, has a disability, or a child that does not have disability. So if we have to look at every child matters, we need to look at policies, very robust policies. We need to look at the criminal justice system. What are they doing? What are the threshold of offense? And how is it punishable? You know, we need to look at all of these. Obviously, here in the UK, we have different registers depending on what the offenses are. And also, maybe I'm being too optimistic. We also need to start looking at our criminal checks. For me, teachers and maybe childminders, like people who work directly with children, having police check, I'm sorry, is not good enough. We need to look at having more robust ways of checking the backgrounds of these people who are directly working with children. And yeah, and also, before I go, I also want to touch on something. I know we're in the world of social media and mobile phones. Perhaps I could use this platform to say, when things happen to little children or to minors in Nigeria, it is very, very wrong to do videos of that and put it out. That's another form of abuse. You know, I know we have to document things to put information out, but putting information out of a child who has been abused, it's not, we're actually abusing the child instead of safeguarding the child. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. Thank
just
you.
Before we continue, Adeyinka, I would like to just welcome Mr. Felix Waiseni in the house. Mr. Felix was a massive contributor to this program when we started. He pointed us in various directions. So you're so welcome, sir. Thank you so much for coming into the house today, all the way from Abuja. Are you on, sir? Okay, probably having some technical issues.
Okay, I think I'm connected back now to you.
Okay, okay, you're welcome. Yes, we can hear you, sir. Now? We can hear you, we can hear you.
Yeah, just very quickly before I get cut off again, the issue you are discussing, I want us to know very quickly that the issue of safeguarding is not just a matter of survival of children now. We are looking at also qualitative development of those who are young at the moment. And some of the issues we've been discussing all this while revolve around the two pillars of the rights of the child, talking about the issues of protection and of course development, which is key. I've just spoken about development now. And you have in Nigeria, somebody says something that caught my attention, and it's of terrain and the operational framework we have some of the African countries, including Nigeria, you mentioned Kenya and other countries. You have some children still thinking of a system that works. We shouldn't be expecting children to be succeeding by accident. I mean, children shouldn't be getting access to development rights and protection rights by accident. There should be a systemic approach to developing the child. It's a system that works. For example, in the UK that we mentioned, I know UK is a parliamentary system. It is easier for the Prime Minister to get something, issued, and in Manchester, in Chelsea, all over, in Liverpool, it gets done. But it's a different approach in Nigeria. You have a federal system whereby the constitution and its operational framework divided into three. You have the exclusive legislative list, where the federal have so much power. And of course, you have the concurrent list, where both states and federal, the residual list, legislative list, that are strongly domiciled in the states. This is where the states have so much powers. And let me tell you that under this residual list, over 90% of the issues protecting children and developing that addresses the issue of survivor, addresses the issue of development and protection of the children are domiciled in the residual legislative list, where the state have so much power in terms of policy articulation, in terms of operational framework, in terms of legislation. Now we have the CRO in place at the Federal Child Rights Act that have been signed and is into law in 2003. How many years after now? Over 20 years, going to 25 years. You still have so many states struggling to adopt this act into the state laws. Why? Because there are issues of contentious issues, which I will not, time will not permit me to explain to all of us now. For the issue of age of child is there because of marriage issue, and this thing affects development rights. This thing affects other key rights of a child to survivor. These are the issues we have in Nigeria. So it is the legal system is so complex, such that we at the federal, we have to go on extensive and high-level advocacy to the governors, to the state houses of assembly, to traditional institutions in the state, to the clerics, religious institutions, type of Muslims and Christian clerics who are very powerful, but they may not be visible, but they have a lot to do with some of these laws and policies.
Awesome.
And then these are the issues in Nigeria. And
Thank you so much, Mr. Felix. Just because of time,
about
I'm have
children
to
emerging by succeeding by accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Awesome.
you. Sorry, time is an issue. Time is an issue now. Sorry, I will. Yeah.
No.
But it's just that the framework is different. That is what I want to let us know. And let me just quickly add that the constitution is about it is being reviewed. It's being reviewed now. We need the CFOs to join us in pushing for some of these reforms in the legal system that enable us to touch the children directly.
Thank you, Mr. Felix. Thank you so much. You know what I enjoy about today's discussion is the passion.
Yes.
We would like this passion to translate to actionable strategies.
Yeah.
So that we can say on such and such a date, on the 25th of May 2021, we started this, and now we have done A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So really, we are calling everybody here to partner with us, to partner with Saffron. If you look in the chat, you will find the email address. You can drop us a chat. You can drop us a mail. You can team up with us. We all work in different areas, different walks of life. We are all, we all belong to different enclaves, and we can bring everybody on board, because our children, I don't say they are future, they are our now. They are here and now, and what we do to them now is what is what they will become 50, 20, 90 years from now. So I'm going to hand over to this, but I just want to thank everybody everybody that stayed with us, even those who had to leave for one reason or the other. We're so grateful. You made today happen. You really made today happen, and we're grateful to you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Giz.
Okay, thank you. And oh my gosh, it's been amazing. It's been very, very insightful. The awareness, I've learned a lot, even as a safeguarding practitioner. I've learned, Subeb, you guys were amazing. I can't call everybody's name. Our honourable and distinguished guests, Mr. Archibong, and the other colleagues from the ministries. We want to say thank you. It's been amazing. What we know as an organization, I don't do anything without calling on the above. And I know that today is definitely a divine happening. And the reason I say this is because a jingle was put out today. And that is something that we have been working on. We won't unveil too much because it was actually supposed to be one of our party pieces for 2021. My background is in theatre arts. So my first degree is actually in drama. So that is something that is very dear to my heart. Everything I do, everybody knows I do with song. So when Mrs. Dominga now came on and said, Mr. Debumi came on and said what she said, it just tied into what we've got. So we will be unveiling for you it's still in the works. I'm thinking July, August, that's what we've been told by the people we are working with. But with Mrs. Yemi, am I right in saying that if you'd like to just say what has just happened online now?
Okay. All right. I thought you were going to do that.
I didn't get it. That's what I don't want to make a mistake.
Mrs. Dominga Odebumi has asked us to let her know when it is ready and she can contribute her token to the cost of pulling the jingle out to support children and families. And she's put a pledge down, and she's also asked us to ask everyone present for their kind support and to support us to put out this jingle. And if people can raise their hands or email us and also share to other people as well, their colleagues and friends and families. So a lot of children benefit from this widely.
Brilliant. Thank you. So you can see the spirit is one. It just shows that, the path we are on, it's a needed path, and it's amazing to have everybody on the same page. And I do want to, because somebody from Subeb has typed in the chat about, the parents and the parent involvement, and that has come across a lot today. Parents, we can't exclude the parents when we're talking about the safeguarding of the children. Parent forums are a necessity. They are a necessity. There's no manual for parenting. There's no good parent, there's no bad parent. Parenting is a job we learn every second. You're still learning how to parent. And one of the initiatives Saffron has is we do have parenting classes. What we would love to do, SDGF, especially for the Nigerian families, we will be creating parenting classes where, like we've said here, awareness is everything. And that is where the knowledge will come from. We will continue. We will not relent, despite all the challenges we know are up ahead of us. We will not relent in this fight to make sure that every single child in Nigeria has, the outcome for that child would be positive. So based on that, we just want to say, everybody that is here today, we would love you to put your details in the chat, where what we would like to have from today is a working group. So it's not just to come to the Zoom and we go away. My team know I don't like that. If I come to the Zoom, that's it. I become part of your life. So please put your details in the chat. What we would love is to continue this conversation. It's a call to action. It's a roundtable discussion, but we will not stop discussing until we achieve the outcomes that we need to achieve to make sure that every child grows up in an enabled environment. I'm sure you guys want to see some of your children ruling and running Nigeria tomorrow. And if we don't do this now, that is not going to happen. So, once again, on behalf of Saffron SDGF, my name is Ngozi Ojiako, the Director for Programs, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that has come out today. I'm going to hand over to Yemi because of time. We will be rounding up very soon. But yes, thank you all. And please put your details in the chat so that we can have a directory of those of you who have appeared today. Thank you. Over to you, Yemi.
Okay, thank you so much. Before I actually continue, we actually also want to mention and especially give kudos to our partnerships director in Abuja, and that is Segun Oyedijo. Segun, you need to unveil yourself. We need to see your face so people can recognize who you are, because he has gone well above, over and above to ensure that he reached out to all the people who have attended. So many people here, the ministries. He made sure he linked with as many as possible. He is our partnerships director. And I'm telling you, he is not taking any prisoners. He is definitely coming to be knocking on your doors and sending you emails. Get ready for him. Lekon, are you able to show your face? We need to know you, okay? Put your camera closer to you so we see your face properly. You're a very handsome young man,
Okay, you answered us. God bless you all. I wanted to know this is just the beginning of a journey. And it is only those who don't quit that wins. Please let's be steadfast and let's continue. And I'm sure at the end of the day, we will all achieve the best. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Oyedijo. I also want to appreciate our anchors for today. Mrs. Adeyinka Adefope, you're awesome. I've told you you should be reading the news because your voice just sort of radiates and carries far and above. Yeah, feel free. We want to hear your voice again.
What do you want? Saffron is on a journey. We're nowhere near the end of the journey. We ask you to please come along with. When I started with Saffron, a lot was happening in Lagos. The Ministry of Youth and Social Development had done a lot. There was so much more to do. And with Yemi being in Nigeria, then if she remembers, we were training teachers free of charge. We're going around schools free of charge. We were in Subeb free of charge. I think we worked for like a year or more out of pocket.
Yeah.
So, but we were glad. You see, that was the passion. It was a passion. We were passionate about it. So I'm going to ask everyone that is here, please partner with us. Please, for the sake of our children. The funny thing is our children were not in those areas, but these are our children. They all are where our children. So whatever we do for one, we do for all. We do for our children as well. So please partner with us. Don't think it's a UK affair. It is our affair. UK, Nigeria, it's a global world today. We're in a village right now. Yeah. So please partner with us. Thank you so much. And thank you for so honoring us.
Okay.
Thank you. Giz, over to you quickly.
Okay. Please. So basically, I think we've said it all. You understand our journey. You understand where we're going, and we're asking you to please join us. Join us on that ride. We can't do this. Saffron can't work on our own. We can't. We believe, like I said, our hashtag Together We Can is our watchword, because we believe that it's only together that we can actually do this. We can achieve this. So please come on board. If you're NGOs, the federal ministries, we thank you so much for even opening your doors to us. We are humbled. I am very, very humbled. And just like Adinka said, it's not a London or a UK affair. Nigerian to the core, just opportunity to be out here. We are home with you, and we want to make sure that, you know, we want our kids to be able to live safe and live in an amazing environment. So without much ado,
mention our office. We have our office.
yeah,
Safeguarding Child Protection.
I'm not going to say the address. I'm going to leave the addresses to you, but we do have our 2 offices located. One is fully operational in Lagos, and the Abuja office is in the making, and that should be fully operational within the next 2 months. So go onto our website. Every information regarding SDGF Lagos is on there. SDGF Nigeria, I meant to say, is on there. Feel free to speak to us. We also have helpline numbers, which if we can post the helpline numbers in the chat. So if you have neighbors, if you have anybody that would like some support, some guidance, or any advice from Saffron, we have professionals on board. We have therapists, we have social workers. We are blessed. We have an amazing team of people that can help you from wherever you are in Nigeria. So please, you know, be part of the family. Together we can make this work. Okay. So like
appreciate Auntie Amma.
I wanted to just say that. I just wanted to say that we have our mentor, Mrs. Amma Anane Ajay. Auntie Amma is, I like to call her a Pan-Africanist because that's what she likes to call herself.
Absolutely right. That's absolutely right, because the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it's linked with the total liberation of the African continent.
Exactly.
I don't call myself whatever. I am indeed an African.
Yeah.
And an honor to be with you all today. I thank all your Nigerian contributors. They've been marvelous and excellent. Thank you all.
Thank you, Auntie Amma. And yes, we are saying we're safeguarding the Nigerian child, but in totality, guys, we're safeguarding the African child, because as Auntie Amma said, you know, we are Nigerians second, we are Africans first. But they said charity begins at home. So help us to make this journey in Nigeria, Nigeria being the flagship for this, and we can spread it out to the whole of Africa to make sure that every African child gets a start in life. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. And we hope this will be a continuation, you know, in the future. So we've started this today. We said it's a call to action, and we'll continue calling until we get the results that we really, really want to achieve. Okay. So I'm going to ask Adeyinka, I'll hand over to you to close for the day, please.
Okay.
Ms. Adeyinka, sorry, Mrs. Adeyinka Defope, can you just call out some people have asked for you to call out our telephone number, the office telephone number. It's also the WhatsApp number, so people can just WhatsApp directly. And also about the National Safeguarding Group and WhatsApp group. Please feel free.
So we have our handles, we have our social media handles, and we also have our email and our website. So I will start with the email first. It's info@saffronsdg.org. I'll say that again, info@saffronsdgf.org. Our website is www.saffronsdgf.org. Our numbers for the Saffron office, WhatsApp Saffron office number is 0909 536 4424. I'll say that again, 0909 536 4424. That's for WhatsApp messages. Then we have our child helpline, which is 0809 022 3384. That is our child helpline. You know, you can reach us on any of those numbers. I think I've done justice to that. We would like you to get in touch with us. We have a Saffron working group here in Lagos. We have one in Abuja. We so much wanted NAPTIP to speak today because in 2018, they were a very integral part of our month, Saffron's month. They were really supportive of Saffron in Abuja. Thank you very much, NAPTIP. We're really, really hoping that you'd be here. We also are on LinkedIn. You can find us on LinkedIn. And yeah, we are also on Facebook. We have an Instagram handle. Our Instagram handle is at Saffron Safer Children. At Saffron Safer Children, one word. At Saffron Safer Children. And then our Twitter handle is at Saffron_SDG. We are here. Reach out to us.
Okay.
We'll answer by God's grace. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you. So should we close today by thanking God? Because he has been awesome. He has been great and kind to us today. We didn't have anybody being thrown out and thrown in. We thank God for we had some glitches here and there, but I think God helped us tremendously today. So Father, we thank you for this meeting. Lord, we're here because you said, suffer the little children to come to me. You said you wanted them. You said, suffer not the little children to come to me. So Lord, as we partner with you, we ask that you will strengthen us. And anybody that chooses to partner with us, we ask, Father, Lord, that you bless them differently and that you help them and help us, Lord, to achieve that which we have set out to achieve. That we may do more for our children. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Just before we go, we would like to recognize our directors in the UK. Marcia Eliza is on, and so is Deborah. I don't know if Dee has gone, but I had so many people I couldn't even see the screen. Marcia, thank you so much as always for supporting us even across the world. I don't know if she's probably multitasking, but thank you.
She's still there, but she's muted.
She's muted. Yeah, that's fine. She's there, but she's muted. So Marcia, thank you. Dee, wherever you are now, because it seems you've gone off, thank you so much for coming on. And Grace Alexander, thank you for your input. As always, you always do it for me. I learn new things every day when I hear you. So thank you so much. Yamisi Jenkins, MBE, you know I have love for you. Thank you so much for your input. That was amazing. And yes, we
Joseph,
will
Timeyi,
take on
reading
board what you said. Joseph, thank you. I saw when you came in, and I know sometimes the struggles you have with the technology. So thank you, Joseph, for coming on. Timeyi, oh my days, as quiet as always, but you were there. I love that. Thank you. I saw your work in the background. So thank you. Timeyi is our anchor in Lagos. Everything that happens in Lagos, it's Timeyi and Joseph that do it for Saffron. So thank you guys. Thank you. Jimmy Babs, I thank you. We didn't get to hear from you, but that's okay. Thank you for being a part of this today. Saidatu
Ajah is here.
Is she here?
She is. She did come in.
She didn't?
She's right here.
No,
Mr. Are you able to speak? Let's capture your voice in our communique before we shoot off.
Not here.
10,000 or 50,000 naira.
She's not here.
Okay.
Oh, she's gone. She's gone. Okay. Well, I think we know we've been on since 10 o'clock, and I think everybody would want to go and get a drink, go and get something to eat. So without much ado, on behalf of Saffron SDGF, we would just like to say thank you. Okay, so that's who said I am from Form 1. Okay, do you want to?
I'm very sorry that I'm late.
Oh, that's okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
We're
hello.
good, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so we have Form 1. I'm not sure what Form 1 is.
Ministry of Women's Affairs.
Well, she needs to.
Ministry of Women's Affairs, she says.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Thank you so much for joining us,
Thank you so much for joining us, man. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you. And at this stage, we are just going to say have an amazing afternoon to everybody. And please keep watching this space. We've started.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi,
She's
she's
supposed to
on.
say something.
Yes.
Hello, I am Saida Aja of Federation of Muslim Women's Associations in Nigeria. Form 1.
We're sorry.
Congratulations, Saffron. And I wish to thank everybody who has participated and those who contributed. It's been a wonderful outing. And we hope also to be part of this. Form 1 has always been at the forefront of everything about the women and the child. And we always want to partner with whoever and under whatever in being impactful to our people. Thank you very much. I wish you all well. May God continue to guide all our footsteps. Thank you very much.
Amen. Thank you, Ma. And if you would like to just put your details in the chat so that we can link up with you after this, that would be amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Okay, Mrs. Otitoloju said she can't speak, but she has been listening. Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much for always being there for us and with us.
It has been, she was there nearly from the beginning. Yeah.
Right, okay. Thank you. And we're sending love back to our family back home. Thank you so much. So everybody, please have a lovely afternoon. Thank you once again. And like we said, if you could pop your details in the chat or on our social media handles so that we can continue this conversation, we can link with you, we can collaborate, we can partnership, because that's what it's all about. It's all about us linking hands together to make a change, to make a difference in the children's lives. Okay, so have a good afternoon. And yes, it has been fun.
Okay, Ziggy, take care. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. You can feel free to unmute yourselves, everyone.
Feel free to unmute.
Thank you
Say
so
bye.
much.
Thank you.
June, thank you so much for joining us. Timeyi.
Auntie Gay,
sorry. You've been silent on there. We've not heard you.
I'm so sorry, Auntie Gay. I'm sorry, I haven't been actively participating. I'll do from now.
Well done,
Sorry.
Mr. Kingosi.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Auntie Grace, you were saying?
I said thank you. It was great. Though there was an early each, but it doesn't really matter. That's technology for you.
Yeah.
But it went well. We had beautiful contributions from everybody. And then the next thing on the agenda is how do we take this forward?
Exactly. We are coming forward. Our team is there's a communique that's going out to all the ministries who have attended and even those who haven't. It's going out on all our social medias, on Facebook. The WhatsApp group is going to be very active in pushing forward all the outcomes that have come from here, and also the safeguarding agenda. It's definitely a start in the best direction. I think that's what I was saying. Miss Ade, okay, anything else?
No, not really.
Okay.
And hope that we get a good response from the ministry, that this just won't be, over and done with.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not.
Okay, then.
Okay.
Muhyiddin, thank you. Thank you. Just feel free to log yourself out. Thank you. God bless. Muhyiddin, thank you for joining us. I see you.
Oh, Muhyiddin. Sorry?
I said we speak later.
Yes, absolutely, ma'am. Thank you.
Some people are still dropping their contacts in the chat.
Yeah, that's why I haven't logged out. I'm waiting for everyone to leave. I'll be the last to leave the ship.
I have to use the devices. Logged out of one.
Thank you, Sylvia. We've captured your details. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sylvia, for joining us. We will be sending an email to every person and seeing how you can engage with us and how we can engage with you. Okay. Am I permitted to end the show? It looks like we're all home. We're all family left.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you. Okay, wait.
Thank you, everyone.
Hold on 1 minute.
Okay. Okay, we're just responding to. I'm just going to wait because I think some people are still dropping messages in the
Yeah,
chat.
that's fine.
Okay, I will wait a minute.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's still wait for a while.
Yeah,
we
that's
look
fine.
Oh.
Okay, I'm just going to stop our live stream. Thank you, everyone who was on Facebook. I'm so sorry, we're so hands-on today. We couldn't coordinate everything on Facebook, but a lot of people watched us and we appreciate you. We shall be back tomorrow evening for the voiceover. Join us. Thank you.